Hello everyone! So welcome to our information literacy program. Before we start, let's have a short game. Let's go!
This game is called Real or Not Real. The mechanics of this game is simply you just have to determine if the image that I will show you really exists in our world or not. Are you ready? Okay, let's begin. First are superheroes. Batman and his sidekick Robin. Are they real or not real? The answer is not real. Characters with superpowers exist only in books and movies. Next is spaceship or rocket ship. Is it real or not real? What's your answer? The answer is real. Spaceships and rocket ships are used by astronauts to explore the solar system and the outer space. Next are pyramids. Are they real or not real? The answer is real. Most pyramids exist in Egypt and have been built thousands of years ago. Next is Jurassic Park. Is it real or not real? What's your answer? The answer is not real. It is an imaginary place that exists only in books and movies. Last is Mickey Mouse. Is he real or not real? The answer is not real. He is a cartoon character created by Walt Disney. So, after our short game, you can guess what our topic will be. Today's topic is about fiction and non-fiction. To start off, let me introduce to you to the word genre. What is genre? It refers to the category a book fits into by identifying the type of story or content that it has. Books have two main genres, namely fiction and non-fiction. Let's discuss about fiction first. What is fiction? Fiction refers to books or stories which are made up from author's imagination and are about non-real characters, things, places, and events. The key words for fiction are made up from the author's imagination and non-real. There are five types or genres of fiction. These are fantasy, mystery, science fiction, historical fiction, and realistic fiction. Fantasy is a genre of fiction that commonly uses magic and other supernatural phenomena as a primary plot element, theme, or setting. These are some examples of fantasy fiction books: Harry Potter series, The Chronicles of Narnia, Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Land of Stories, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, The Wizard of Oz, The Little Prince, Peter Pan, and The Hobbit. Mystery. Mystery is a genre of fiction that focuses on someone solving a puzzle or crime. It is also referred to as a crime fiction or detective fiction. Here are some examples of mystery fiction books: the Hardy Boy series, a series of unfortunate events, the 39 Clues, the Mysterious Benedict Society, Who Could That Be at This Hour, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, The Name of This Book is Secret, and Harriet the Spy. Science fiction, also known as sci-fi, a genre in which advanced technology or science is the key element. It is usually set at some time in the future or in some distant region of the universe. Some science fiction books include A Wrinkle in Time, Jedi Academy, Mighty Robot, The Supernaturalist, The Giver, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Journey to the Center of the Earth, The Time Machine, and War of the Worlds. Historical fiction is a genre based on real historical events, but in which the characters are not real and the minor events may not be realistic. Since it is based on history, its plot takes place in a setting located in the past.
Here are some examples of historical fiction books. The Book Thief, Number the Stars, Bod Not Body, The Invention of Hugo Cabret, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, Oliver Twist, Treasure Island, and The Prince and the Pauper.
Realistic fiction is a genre consisting of stories that could have actually happened to people or animals in a realistic setting. Its stories resemble real life. It highlights personal or social events or issues that mirror contemporary life.
Some realistic fiction books include Wonder, Diary of a Wimpy Kid series, Bridge to Terabithia, Because of Winn-Dixie, Sheila, Pulse, and Frindle.
Let's now go to nonfiction. What is nonfiction? These are books about real people, things, places, or events, and aim to inform, teach, or explain to its readers. There are three types of nonfiction: informational nonfiction, biography, and autobiography. Informational nonfiction. It refers to text which provides readers with facts about a topic. The topics can range from sports to animals, from adventures to history to the weather, and many others. Here are some examples of informational nonfiction books: Computer Coding Projects for Kids, How Psychology Works, Saints and Angels, The Disney Book, Super Grammar, 101 Cool Science Experiments, How to Survive Anything, You Can Draw Disney Pixar, and The Trouble Book. Biography. It refers to an account of a person's life written by another person. It contains facts arranged in chronological order, such as the person's childhood, education, career, relationships, family, and death. Here are some examples of biography books. Who was Walt Disney? Who was Dr. Seuss? Who is Jeff Kenny? Helen Keller's Teacher? Stephen Hawking? And A Wicked History, Hitler. Autobiography. It refers to the biography of a person written by the person himself. Here are some examples of autobiography books: Anne Frank, The Diary of a Young Girl, The Story of My Life by Helen Keller, El Diafo, It Came from Ohio, My Life as a Writer by R.L. Stein. Boy, Tales of Childhood by Roald Dahl. And Bill Pitt, An Autobiography.
To further differentiate fiction and nonfiction, here are the other characteristics that set them apart. Fiction books provide not real or made up stories, while nonfiction books provide real information or facts. Fiction entertains the reader, whereas nonfiction teaches and informs the reader. Fiction books must be read from beginning to end, while nonfiction books can be read in any order or in parts. Fiction books usually contain illustrations created by a book illustrator, whereas nonfiction books include photos, charts, and graphs within the text. And fiction have characters, setting, plot, conflict, climax, and other story elements. While nonfiction books have table of contents, index, glossary, and other text features.
Now it's time for a quiz. You just have to determine if the descriptions and images to be shown refer to as fiction or nonfiction. Since this is an online pre-recorded session, simply answer the questions on your own. These are books about real people, things, places, and events, and aim to inform, teach, or explain to its readers. Is it fiction or nonfiction? The answer is nonfiction. Next, these are books or stories that are made up from the author's imagination and are about non-real characters, things, places, and events. Is it fiction or nonfiction? What's the answer? Fiction. Next is, these books use story elements such as characters, plot, setting, conflict, and climax. Is it fiction or nonfiction? What's the answer? The answer is fiction. These books contain text, features such as table of contents, glossary, and index. Is it fiction or nonfiction? What's the answer? The answer is nonfiction. How about this book, The Little Prince? Is it fiction or nonfiction? What's the answer? The answer is fiction. The Disney book, is it fiction or nonfiction? What's the answer? The answer is nonfiction. Boy, Tales of Childhood, written by Roald Dahl, is it fiction or nonfiction? What's the answer? The answer is nonfiction. Wonder, is it fiction or nonfiction? The answer is fiction. The Mysterious Benedict Society, is it fiction or nonfiction? What's the answer? The answer is fiction. Who was Dr. Seuss? Is it fiction or nonfiction? Your answer is nonfiction. So, this ends our discussion on the differences and types of fiction and nonfiction books. I hope this lesson has helped you to easily distinguish one from the other. Thank you for listening and stay safe, everyone.